You become what you think about, most of the time. Written and published by I Am Audiobooks. Lesson 1. How a New Mental Picture Transformed a Man's Financial Life. In the bustling city of Chicago, James Mitchell sat at his desk, staring at mounting bills and a bank account that seemed perpetually empty. As a mid-level accountant, he earned enough to get by, but his dreams of financial abundance seemed impossibly out of reach. That was, until he discovered the transformative power of mental imagery, which would forever change the trajectory of his financial life. One cold winter morning, while reading an obscure book on success principles, James encountered a concept that initially seemed too simple to be true, the idea that our mental pictures shape our reality. The book suggested that by deliberately creating and maintaining a clear mental image of our desired outcome, we could influence our subconscious mind to work toward that goal. Skeptical but desperate for change, James decided to experiment with this approach. He began by creating a detailed mental picture of his ideal financial situation. Every morning and evening, he would spend 10 minutes visualizing himself confidently managing substantial investments, running his own successful accounting firm, and enjoying the freedom that financial abundance brings. At first, nothing seemed to change externally, but James noticed subtle shifts in his perception and behavior. He began seeing opportunities where he previously saw obstacles. During client meetings, he spoke with newfound confidence about financial strategies. His mental picture had begun influencing his actions in ways he hadn't anticipated. Within 3 months, James noticed that clients were responding differently to him. His suggestions carried more weight, and his expertise was sought after more frequently. He started receiving referrals from satisfied clients who appreciated his more confident and comprehensive approach to their financial planning. The most significant breakthrough came when one of his wealthy clients, impressed by James's innovative solutions, offered him a partnership opportunity in a new venture. This was exactly the kind of opportunity he had been visualizing, though it manifested in an unexpected way. The partnership proved successful, and within 2 years, James had multiplied his income 5-fold. What James discovered was that the mental picture he maintained wasn't just a pleasant daydream. It was a powerful tool that programmed his subconscious mind to recognize and act upon opportunities aligned with his vision. His brain, constantly exposed to this new mental picture, began filtering information differently, bringing relevant opportunities into focus while dismissing those that didn't serve his vision. The science behind this transformation is fascinating. Neuroscientists have discovered that our brains don't distinguish well between real experiences and vividly imagined ones. When we maintain a clear mental picture, our neural pathways begin to form as if we're actually experiencing what we're visualizing. This creates new patterns of thinking and behavior that align with our desired outcome. James's transformation wasn't just about the money. It was about becoming the person he needed to be to achieve his financial goals. His mental picture included details about his character, confidence, and capabilities, not just the end result. This comprehensive approach to visualization created a complete transformation rather than just a change in circumstances. Today, James helps others understand and apply the same principles that transformed his life. He emphasizes that the key lies not in occasional daydreaming, but in maintaining a consistent, clear, and detailed mental picture of your desired outcome. This picture must be revisited and reinforced daily, allowing it to seep into your subconscious mind and influence your actions and decisions. The power of a new mental picture lies in its ability to override limiting beliefs and expand what we consider possible. When we consistently hold an image of success in our minds, we naturally begin to think, act, and make decisions in alignment with that image. This alignment creates a powerful force for transformation, as James's story clearly demonstrates. Lesson 2. The $1 Million Mental Visualization Anyone Can Use. In the quiet solitude of his study, David, a struggling real estate agent, discovered a visualization technique that would later become the foundation of his $1 million empire. This technique, remarkably simple yet profound, is available to anyone willing to invest their mental energy consistently. The process begins with finding a quiet space where you can be completely undisturbed for at least 15 minutes. Close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths, allowing your body to relax with each exhale. As your mind settles, begin to construct a detailed mental image of your desired outcome. Unlike general daydreaming, this visualization requires specific, sensory-rich details that engage all 5 senses. For example, if your goal is to own a successful business, see yourself sitting in your office, feel the texture of your desk beneath your fingers, hear the buzz of productive activity around you, smell the fresh coffee brewing in the break room, and taste the success as you review your growing profit margins. The key is to make this mental picture as vivid and real as possible, as if you're watching a high-definition movie where you're the star. This visualization technique works because your brain cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. When you consistently engage in this practice, your neural pathways begin to form new connections that support your desired reality. It's like creating a mental blueprint that your brain naturally works to fulfill. The million-dollar aspect of this visualization comes from its compound effect. Just as money grows through compound interest, your mental images grow stronger and more influential through daily practice. Spend these 15 minutes every morning, before the world's distractions begin, and another 15 minutes before bed, when your subconscious mind is most receptive. A crucial element of this technique is emotional engagement. Don't just see the images. Feel the emotions associated with achieving your goals. Experience the joy, satisfaction, and sense of accomplishment as if they're happening right now. These emotions act as fuel for your subconscious mind, accelerating the manifestation process. When practicing this visualization, avoid the common mistake of focusing on the process rather than the end result. While planning is important, this technique is about imprinting the final outcome in your mind. Your subconscious will work out the details of how to get there, often in ways you couldn't have consciously planned. Another vital component is maintaining unwavering belief in your vision. Doubt and skepticism are natural, but they act as resistance to your desired outcomes. Treat your visualization sessions as if you're programming a sophisticated computer, your subconscious mind, with clear, consistent instructions. Any interference from doubt will only corrupt the program. The power of this technique lies in its simplicity and accessibility. You don't need special equipment, expensive training, or unique talents. All you need is your mind and the commitment to use it deliberately. Think of it as mental exercise. Just as physical exercise builds stronger muscles, mental exercise builds stronger thought patterns that attract success. Many successful people have used this exact technique to achieve remarkable results, from athletes visualizing perfect performances to entrepreneurs seeing their businesses thrive. The pattern is consistent. The key difference between those who succeed and those who don't is persistence in maintaining these mental images despite external circumstances. Start small, if you need to, but start today. Choose one specific goal and create your detailed mental movie. Practice viewing it twice daily, adding more detail and emotional intensity each time. Within weeks, you'll notice subtle changes in your perception and behavior. Within months, these changes will manifest in your external reality. The million-dollar visualization isn't just about money. It's about creating any desired outcome with the power of your focused thought. Lesson 3. How an actor went from failure to triumph using this method. James Carlton sat in his cramped New York apartment, staring at yet another rejection letter. After 5 years of pursuing his acting career, he had nothing to show for it except a growing collection of thanks, but no thanks responses. He was working as a waiter to make ends meet, and his dream of becoming a successful actor seemed further away than ever. One evening, while sharing his frustrations with an elderly regular customer at the restaurant, the man introduced him to a powerful method that would change his life forever. The customer, a retired acting coach, explained that success in acting, and in life, wasn't just about talent or luck. It was about maintaining an unwavering mental image of success, regardless of current circumstances. The coach taught James to spend 20 minutes each morning and evening visualizing himself not just auditioning, but delivering powerful performances that moved audiences. He advised James to feel the emotions, hear the applause, and experience the satisfaction of bringing characters to life on stage and screen. Most importantly, he taught James to maintain this mental picture, even in the face of rejection. At first, James felt foolish sitting in his apartment, eyes closed, imagining success while his reality told a different story. But he committed to the practice, understanding that his current situation was simply a reflection of his past thinking patterns. Every morning before his waiter shift, he would immerse himself in vivid mental scenes of successful auditions, compelling performances, and positive feedback from directors. What made this method particularly effective was James's dedication to maintaining his positive mental picture, even after facing rejection. When he didn't get a part, instead of letting disappointment consume him, he would immediately return to his mental image of success. He understood that each no was simply making room for the right yes. The transformation didn't happen overnight, but subtle changes began to appear. James noticed he was more confident during auditions, his delivery became more natural, and he stopped desperately seeking approval. His mental rehearsals had made him so familiar with success that he carried himself differently. Directors and casting agents began to notice this shift in his presence. 6 months into his new mental practice, James landed his first significant role in an off-Broadway production. The director later mentioned that it was James's quiet confidence and natural presence that set him apart from other actors. This small success reinforced his belief in the power of mental imagery, pushing him to maintain his practice with even greater dedication. The most challenging aspect of James's journey was maintaining his mental picture during the low points. There were still rejections, difficult performances, and moments of doubt. However, he had trained his mind to return to his vision of success regardless of external circumstances. This mental resilience became his greatest asset. Over the next 2 years, James's career gained momentum. His consistent mental practice helped him remain centered and focused even as larger opportunities came his way. He landed roles in television shows, earned critical acclaim for his stage performances, and eventually secured a leading role in a successful Broadway production. James's story demonstrates that the path from failure to triumph isn't just about external actions, it's about maintaining an unwavering mental picture of success. His transformation wasn't just about becoming a better actor, it was about becoming someone who thought like a successful actor. He understood that his thoughts would eventually manifest in his reality if he held on to them with enough persistence and conviction. Today, James still maintains his twice-daily visualization practice, even though he has achieved many of his initial goals. He knows that his continued success depends on his ability to hold on to positive mental pictures, regardless of circumstances. His journey from a struggling waiter to a successful actor serves as a powerful reminder that our thoughts, when properly focused and maintained, have the power to transform our reality. Lesson 4. Why your inner world creates your outer success. The relationship between our inner thoughts and external reality is far more profound than most people realize. Every achievement, success, or failure in our lives begins with a thought pattern that shapes our actions and ultimately determines our outcomes. This fundamental truth has been demonstrated countless times throughout history, yet many still overlook its significance. Consider Sarah, a marketing executive who struggled with imposter syndrome despite her impressive credentials. Her inner dialogue constantly whispered that she wasn't qualified enough, creative enough, or worthy of her position. These thoughts manifested in her behavior. She hesitated to share ideas in meetings, avoided taking on challenging projects, and consistently undermined her own potential. Her outer world perfectly reflected her inner beliefs, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy of mediocrity. The transformation began when Sarah understood that her external reality was merely a projection of her internal world. She started consciously examining her thought patterns and challenging the negative assumptions that had held her back. By deliberately cultivating thoughts of confidence, capability, and worthiness, she began to notice subtle shifts in her daily experiences. Our minds operate like powerful broadcasting stations, continuously sending signals that attract corresponding circumstances and opportunities. When we maintain thoughts of lack, limitation, or fear, we unconsciously create situations that validate these beliefs. Conversely, when we fill our minds with thoughts of abundance, possibility, and growth, we begin to notice and attract opportunities that align with this new frequency. The mirror principle explains this phenomenon perfectly. Our external world serves as a reflection of our predominant thoughts and beliefs. Just as a mirror shows us exactly what stands before it, life presents us with circumstances that match our inner expectations. This isn't just positive thinking. It's a practical understanding of how our consciousness shapes our reality. To align our thoughts with our goals, we must first recognize that our current circumstances result from past thinking patterns. This awareness allows us to take responsibility for our reality and make conscious choices about our mental diet. Just as we carefully choose what we eat to maintain physical health, we must selectively cultivate thoughts that nourish our aspirations. The process requires vigilance and practice. Our minds naturally drift toward habitual thought patterns, many of which we inherited from our environment or past experiences. Creating new neural pathways demands consistent attention and deliberate choice. Each time we catch ourselves engaging in thoughts that don't serve our goals, we have the opportunity to redirect our mental energy toward more empowering alternatives. This inner work creates tangible results in our outer world through various mechanisms. First, our thoughts influence our emotions, which in turn affect our emotions, which in turn affect our actions. When we think positively about our capabilities, we feel more confident and take bold actions that lead to better outcomes. Second, our thought patterns shape our perception, helping us notice opportunities we might have missed before. Finally, our mental attitude influences how others respond to us, creating a ripple effect in our professional and personal relationships. The transformation of our inner world requires patience and persistence. Like any skill, managing our thoughts improve with practice. We can start by setting aside time each day to consciously direct our thoughts toward our desired outcomes. This might involve visualization, affirmations, or simply paying attention to our internal dialogue throughout the day. As we master the art of conscious thinking, we begin to see evidence of its power in our daily lives. Opportunities seem to appear more frequently, relationships improve, and challenges become stepping stones rather than obstacles. This isn't coincidence. It's the natural result of aligning our inner world with our desired outer reality. The key to lasting success lies in maintaining this alignment consistently, even when external circumstances temporarily contradict our inner vision. By holding steady to our chosen thoughts and beliefs, we allow the natural law of correspondence to bring our outer world into harmony with our inner reality. This understanding gives us the power to consciously create the life we desire, one thought at a time. Lesson 5. The lifetime opportunity you already have within you. Every person walking this earth carries within them an incredible reservoir of untapped potential. This potential isn't something that needs to be acquired or purchased. It's already there, waiting to be discovered and unleashed. Think of it as a dormant seed that contains everything necessary to grow into a mighty tree. It just needs the right conditions to flourish. The human mind and spirit contain limitless possibilities, yet most people live their entire lives never fully realizing what they're capable of achieving. This isn't because they lack ability, but because they haven't recognized or believed in their inherent power. Consider Thomas Edison, who was told by his teachers that he was too stupid to learn anything. Instead of accepting this limiting belief, he chose to believe in his potential and went on to become one of history's greatest inventors. Your inner potential is like a muscle that grows stronger with use. The more you acknowledge and act upon your capabilities, the more they expand. This expansion begins with a simple yet profound shift in perspective, recognizing that everything you need for success already exists within you. This isn't positive thinking or wishful dreaming. It's an acknowledgement of a fundamental truth about human nature. The process of unlocking your hidden capabilities starts with self-belief development. This isn't about inflating your ego or creating false confidence, but rather about honestly assessing your strengths and accepting your ability to grow. When you truly believe in your potential, you naturally begin taking actions aligned with that belief. Your decisions become bolder, your goals more ambitious, and your persistence more unwavering. Consider the story of Sarah, a small-town artist who always dreamed of having her work displayed in major galleries. For years, she created art in her spare time while working a regular job, believing she wasn't good enough to be a professional artist. The turning point came when she realized that her artistic ability wasn't something she needed to acquire. It was already within her, waiting to be developed and shared. This realization led her to dedicate more time to her craft, seek out mentorship, and actively pursue gallery opportunities. Within 2 years, her work was being featured in regional exhibitions, and she was making a living from her art. Taking inspired action is crucial in manifesting your inner potential. This means moving beyond mere dreaming or planning into actual doing. When you act from a place of inner conviction rather than external pressure, your actions carry more power and purpose. These actions don't need to be grand gestures. Small, consistent steps aligned with your inner truth can lead to remarkable transformations. Your lifetime opportunity lies in recognizing and acting upon the vast potential within you. This potential isn't limited by your age, education, or current circumstances. It's limited only by your willingness to acknowledge and develop it. Every great achievement in human history started with someone recognizing and acting upon their inner capabilities. The development of your potential is a continuous journey rather than a destination. Each step forward reveals new possibilities and capabilities you didn't know you possessed. This journey requires patience, persistence, and, most importantly, trust in your inner resources. As you progress, you'll discover that what once seemed impossible becomes achievable, and what was once challenging becomes natural. Your inner potential is unique to you. While others may have similar capabilities, your combination of talents, experiences, and perspectives is entirely your own. This uniqueness is your greatest asset. It's what allows you to contribute something valuable to the world that no one else can offer in quite the same way. The opportunity within you is always present, always available, and always waiting to be expressed. It doesn't diminish with time or fade with age. It only grows stronger as you acknowledge and act upon it. Your task is simply to recognize this truth and align your thoughts and actions with it. When you do, you'll find that the limits you once perceived were merely illusions, and your true potential is far greater than you ever imagined. Lesson 6. The magical success key that unlocks everything. The most powerful success key has been hiding in plain sight all along. It's the remarkable ability to maintain unwavering focus on what you truly desire. This fundamental principle has transformed countless lives throughout history, yet its simplicity often causes people to overlook its profound impact. Consider the story of Maria Chen, a struggling artist who discovered this magical key during her darkest hour. After facing repeated rejections and financial hardship, she stumbled upon the practice of maintaining absolute clarity about her desired outcome. Instead of allowing her thoughts to drift between doubt and possibility, she committed to holding a crystal-clear image of her success. Every morning, she would spend 20 minutes virtually living in the reality where her art was celebrated in prestigious galleries. The magic began to unfold when she noticed subtle shifts in her perception and decision-making. Opportunities she might have previously missed suddenly became apparent. Her artistic style evolved naturally as she maintained this unwavering focus, and within 18 months, her work caught the attention of a prominent gallery owner who had previously rejected her submissions. This magical key operates on a fundamental principle. The mind cannot simultaneously hold contradictory thoughts. When you develop the habit of consistently focusing on your desired outcome, you naturally begin to filter out actions and decisions that don't align with that vision. It's similar to buying a new car and suddenly noticing the same model everywhere. Your brain's reticular activating system becomes programmed to recognize relevant opportunities. The implementation of this success key requires more than casual daydreaming. It demands a disciplined approach to mental focus, similar to building any physical skill. Start by selecting specific times during the day to reinforce your vision. Many successful practitioners choose the first few minutes after waking and the last few minutes before sleep, when the mind is naturally more receptive to deep impression. The next layer involves creating a detailed sensory experience of your desired outcome. If you're working toward a specific career goal, imagine not just the position or title, but the feeling of sitting at your desk, the conversations with colleagues, the satisfaction of completing important projects. The more vivid and detailed your mental picture, the more powerful its impact on your subconscious mind. Real transformation occurs when this focused thinking becomes habitual. Consider David Foster, a middle-level manager who applied this principle to revolutionize his company's approach to customer service. Instead of allowing his thoughts to dwell on current problems, he maintained a constant vision of his department, achieving unprecedented customer satisfaction scores. This unwavering focus led him to implement innovative solutions that eventually earned his department national recognition. The magical key becomes even more powerful when combined with aligned action. Your consistent focus naturally generates ideas and inspirations for steps to take toward your goal. The key is to act on these promptings immediately, no matter how small they might seem. Each action, supported by your focused thinking, creates momentum toward your desired outcome. Regular practice of this principle also develops an immunity to negative influences and setbacks. When you're firmly anchored in your vision, temporary obstacles appear as just that. Temporary obstacles appear. This resilience, born from consistent focused thinking, becomes one of your greatest assets in achieving long-term success. The true magic of this success key lies in its compounding effect over time. Like a lens focusing scattered light into a powerful beam, your consistent mental focus transforms scattered efforts into precise, effective actions. Your thoughts, consistently held, become the blueprint for your reality, attracting corresponding circumstances and opportunities. The power of this magical key is available to anyone willing to develop the discipline of focused thinking. It requires no special talent or circumstances, only the willingness to maintain unwavering attention on your desired outcome. Through consistent practice, this simple yet profound principle becomes the master key that unlocks every door to success. Lesson 7. How a simple salesman earned his own promotion. Tom Bradley was an average salesman at a mid-sized software company, consistently meeting his quotas but never truly standing out among his peers. What set him apart wasn't his sales technique or product knowledge, but rather his revolutionary approach to personal development through deliberate thinking. Every morning before work, Tom would sit in his car for 15 minutes, visualizing himself not as a salesman, but as the sales manager he aspired to be. He imagined wearing crisp suits, leading team meetings, and making strategic decisions that would impact the entire department. This wasn't mere daydreaming. It was a calculated mental rehearsal that would eventually transform his reality. Tom began adopting the behaviors and thought patterns of the position he desired. He started arriving earlier than his colleagues, organizing informal training sessions to help newer team members, and proposing innovative solutions during sales meetings. He didn't wait for permission to lead. He simply embodied the role in his mind and allowed his actions to naturally align with that mental image. The most remarkable aspect of Tom's transformation was his approach to challenges. When faced with difficult clients or missed opportunities, he would ask himself, how would a sales manager handle this situation? This simple mental shift helped him develop a more strategic perspective, looking beyond individual sales to understand the broader impact on the company's goals. His colleagues noticed the change in his demeanor and performance. Where once he had been purely focused on his own targets, he now showed genuine interest in the team's collective success. He began documenting his successful sales strategies and sharing them with others, creating an informal knowledge base that improved everyone's performance. What truly distinguished Tom's journey was his dedication to mental preparation. He understood that promotion wasn't just about numbers. It was about becoming the person worthy of the position. He studied leadership books during his lunch breaks, practiced public speaking in front of his mirror at home, and constantly sought feedback from his superiors about areas for improvement. 6 months into his self-directed transformation, an opportunity arose when the current sales manager announced their departure. Instead of scrambling to prove himself worthy, Tom had already demonstrated the qualities necessary for the role. His application for the position wasn't just supported by sales figures, but by countless examples of leadership and initiative he had shown throughout the previous month. The promotion interview felt natural because Tom had mentally rehearsed it countless times. He spoke confidently about his vision for the team, drawing from the ideas he had been cultivating during his daily visualization sessions. His superiors were impressed not just by his answers, but by the evident transformation they had witnessed in him over the past months. Tom's story illustrates a fundamental truth about success. Promotion comes to those who already embody the role they seek. His mental preparation created tangible changes in his behavior, which in turn produced real-world results. He didn't wait for the title to start thinking and acting like a manager. He became one in his mind first, and reality eventually caught up with his self-image. The power of this approach lies in its simplicity and accessibility. Tom didn't rely on special connections or extraordinary talent. He simply understood that his thoughts would shape his actions, and his actions would determine his results. By consistently aligning his mental picture with his desired outcome, he created a natural path to advancement that felt authentic and earned. Today, Tom continues to use the same principle in his role as sales manager, visualizing his next career steps while helping others understand the power of mental preparation. His journey from salesman to manager serves as a testament to the transformative power of directed thinking and the remarkable results that occur when we align our thoughts with our aspirations. Lesson 8. Overcoming personal flaws. The office manager's method. Sarah Mitchell had always struggled with public speaking, a critical skill for her role as an office manager at a growing tech company. Her hands would shake, her voice would quiver, and her mind would go blank whenever she had to present in front of her team. This weakness was holding her back from advancing in her career. But through a remarkable method of self-transformation, she turned this perceived flaw into one of her greatest strengths. The journey began when Sarah realized that her fear wasn't just about public speaking. It stemmed from a deeper belief that she wasn't good enough to lead others. Instead of trying to eliminate her fear immediately, she chose to understand it first. She started keeping a detailed journal of her thoughts and emotions before, during, and after each presentation. This systematic self-observation revealed patterns she had never noticed before. Sarah discovered that her anxiety peaked exactly 20 minutes before each presentation. Armed with this knowledge, she developed a personal ritual for that crucial time window. She would find a quiet corner, close her eyes, and visualize herself as the confident speaker she wanted to become. But unlike previous attempts at positive thinking, she incorporated her nervous energy into the visualization, imagining it as fuel for her performance rather than an obstacle to overcome. The office manager's method wasn't just about changing thoughts. It required consistent action. Sarah volunteered to lead more meetings, actively seeking opportunities that scared her. Each time she spoke, she focused on one small aspect to improve, whether it was maintaining eye contact, controlling her breathing, or using purposeful gestures. This gradual approach prevented overwhelm and built sustainable confidence. What made her method unique was how she transformed her self-criticism into constructive feedback. Instead of berating herself for mistakes, she began treating each speaking opportunity as a data point in her personal growth experiment. She would write down 3 things she did well and one specific area for improvement after each presentation. This shifted her perspective from judgment to curiosity, making the process of change more engaging and less threatening. As her confidence grew, Sarah noticed something extraordinary happening. her team began responding differently to her leadership. The very vulnerability she had tried to hide became a source of connection with her colleagues. Team members started coming to her for advice on their own public speaking challenges, and she found herself naturally stepping into a mentoring role. The ripple effects of this transformation extended beyond her professional life. Sarah's new approach to handling personal flaws influenced how she dealt with other challenges. When faced with difficult situations, she would apply the same method: observe, understand, visualize, act, and reflect. This systematic approach to personal growth became her signature strategy for continuous improvement. 1 year later, Sarah was promoted to senior management, largely due to her exceptional leadership and communication skills. During her acceptance speech, she spoke without notes, without trembling, and with an authentic presence that captivated the room. Her journey from fearful speaker to confident leader became an inspiring example for others in her organization. The office manager's method teaches us that personal flaws aren't fixed traits, but opportunities for growth. By combining self-awareness with strategic action, we can transform our weaknesses into unique strengths. The key lies not in attempting to eliminate our flaws overnight, but in developing a systematic approach to growth that honors both our current limitations and our potential for change. Through consistent practice and self-compassion, what once held us back can become the very foundation of our success. Lesson 9. The 7-day thought practice that changes everything. The most powerful transformations often begin with a simple commitment. A week of dedicated thought practice can revolutionize your entire perspective and set you on a new trajectory towards success. This proven 7-day method has helped countless people break free from limiting beliefs and establish empowering thought patterns that last a lifetime. Each morning begins with a conscious decision to direct your thoughts intentionally. As you wake up, take 5 minutes to sit quietly and observe your current thought patterns. Notice how your mind naturally gravitates towards certain ideas, whether positive or negative. This awareness serves as your starting point for transformation. Throughout the day, carry a small notebook or use your phone to record your thoughts. Pay special attention to recurring themes and emotional responses. This practice helps you identify patterns you might not have noticed before. Many participants discover that they spend considerable time worrying about things beyond their control or dwelling on past mistakes instead of focusing on present opportunities. The core of this practice involves replacing automatic negative thoughts with purposeful, constructive ones. When you catch yourself thinking, "I can't," immediately substitute it with "how can I?" This simple shift opens your mind to possibilities rather than limitations. Each time you make this conscious substitution, you strengthen new neural pathways in your brain. By day 3, most practitioners report a noticeable difference in their emotional state. The initial resistance begins to fade, and the new thought patterns start feeling more natural. This is when the real magic begins to unfold. You'll find yourself naturally gravitating toward solutions instead of problems, opportunities instead of obstacles. The middle of the week often brings the greatest challenge as old thought patterns attempt to reassert themselves. This is perfectly normal and actually indicates that you're making progress. Think of it as your mind's immune system testing your commitment to change. Push through this resistance by doubling down on your practice. During days 5 and 6, integrate visualization into your thought practice. Spend 10 minutes each morning seeing yourself already embodying your desired thoughts and behaviors. Feel the confidence, joy, and satisfaction of living as your ideal self. This mental rehearsal accelerates the transformation process and helps cement new thought patterns. The final day focuses on reflection and integration. Review your notes from the week and identify the most significant changes in your thinking. Notice how these shifts have affected your decisions, actions, and relationships. Many participants report improved sleep, reduced anxiety, and a greater sense of control over their lives. The beauty of this 7-day practice lies in its simplicity and effectiveness. You don't need special equipment or extensive training. All you need is commitment and consistency. The changes you experience during this week create a foundation for ongoing growth and development. This practice works because it addresses both the conscious and subconscious aspects of your thinking. While you actively work on changing your thoughts during waking hours, your subconscious mind processes these new patterns during rest and sleep. This dual approach ensures more permanent transformation. As you complete the 7 days, you'll notice that positive thinking becomes more automatic. The effort required to maintain constructive thought patterns diminishes, and you naturally begin to approach situations with greater optimism and creativity. This shift affects every aspect of your life, from personal relationships to professional achievements. This 7-day practice is not a one-time event, but rather the beginning of a lifelong journey. Many successful people repeat this process periodically to reinforce positive thought patterns and address new challenges as they arise. Each time you complete the practice, you strengthen your mental muscles and enhance your ability to create the life you desire through conscious thought management. Lesson 10. How your daily thinking patterns create your future. Every thought you entertain today shapes the reality you'll experience tomorrow. Your daily thinking patterns are like seeds planted in the garden of your future, and just as a gardener carefully tends to their plants, you must consciously cultivate the thoughts that will yield the life you desire. Consider how your morning thoughts set the tone for your entire day. When you wake up dreading work, expecting traffic, or anticipating conflicts, you're programming your mind to seek evidence that confirms these negative expectations. Conversely, when you start your day envisioning success, positive interactions, and opportunities for growth, your brain becomes alert to possibilities that align with these constructive thoughts. Your thinking patterns create neural pathways in your brain, much like wearing a path through a field by walking the same route repeatedly. The more you think certain thoughts, the stronger these neural connections become, making it easier for your mind to default to these established patterns. This is why people who consistently think about problems tend to find more problems, while those who habitually look for solutions discover answers everywhere they turn. The relationship between your thoughts and future reality operates through various mechanisms. Your thoughts influence your emotions, which in turn affect your behavior and decision-making. When you consistently think about personal growth and success, you naturally take actions that support these objectives. You might find yourself reading more educational material, seeking mentorship, or taking calculated risks that you previously avoided. Your thinking patterns also impact how others perceive and respond to you. When you maintain thoughts of confidence and capability, these manifest in your body language, tone of voice, and overall presence. People unconsciously pick up on these subtle cues and treat you accordingly, often offering opportunities that align with your self-image. The transformation of your future through thought isn't instantaneous. It's a gradual process that requires patience and persistence. Think of it as compound interest for your mind. Small, consistent investments in positive, productive thoughts accumulate over time, creating substantial returns in your life circumstances. Each constructive thought builds upon previous ones, generating momentum toward your desired outcomes. Understanding this principle means taking responsibility for your mental diet. Just as you wouldn't constantly consume junk food and expect physical health, you can't feed your mind negative, limiting thoughts and expect a successful future. Begin monitoring your typical thought patterns throughout the day. Notice when you fall into cycles of worry, self-doubt, or criticism, and consciously redirect your thinking toward what you want to create. Creating your ideal future requires more than occasional positive thinking. It demands a fundamental shift in your habitual thought patterns. Start by identifying the specific areas of life where you want to see change. Then, deliberately construct detailed mental images of your desired outcomes. Make these visualizations rich with sensory details. See yourself succeeding, hear the conversations you'll have, feel the emotions of accomplishment. Your daily thoughts should reflect these aspirations, not your current circumstances. When challenges arise, train yourself to think in terms of solutions rather than dwelling on problems. Replace I can't with how can I. Transform this is impossible into what steps can I take to make this possible. These subtle shifts in thinking patterns create profound changes in your approach to life's challenges. Your future isn't set in stone. It's being shaped moment by your current thoughts. Every time you catch yourself thinking about limitations or past failures, you have the power to redirect your focus toward possibilities and future success. This isn't about denying reality or avoiding practical concerns. It's about maintaining a mental environment that nurtures growth and achievement. Your daily thinking patterns are creating your future right now. Each thought is a brick in the foundation of your tomorrow. Choose thoughts that build the life you want to live and maintain them consistently. Your future self will experience the reality that your present thoughts are creating, so make them count.